community. And I'm talking today about beyond predictive maintenance. Your machine has APIs, but does your ecosystem? And I chose the topic because of APIs Munich being about Industry 4.0 and kind of connecting the machines and industrial setups with agentic APIs. So Industry 4.0 has been mostly incredibly successful. So we have a lot of industrial companies already with connected assets. And there are IoT platforms, telemetry, predictive maintenance, cloud platforms, digital twins, and AI pilots. And I see that in the audience in APIs Munich, we have some people and some organizations that have already done something with this. So some digital twins are around, a lot of IoT platforms, most who are dealing with Industry 4.0 and industrial environments are doing predictive maintenance in some form or another. And of course, everybody is having AI pilots. Now, the question is that your machine may have APIs. So like, for example, my customers have had APIs in cranes, in forestry equipment, in locks and keys and access management, ships, agricultural machinery. And the question is, how does that translate into ecosystem customer journeys, partner experience, customer experience, more revenue, more market share, more profitability? So the question from API strategy point of view is that, are we designing for isolated hardware, isolated kind of parts of a process, or are we actually thinking about the connected human actions and connected kind of ecosystems? And we might have some kind of business problems or kind of process problems that we are designing for, instead of this kind of, we just have data or we just have machines, we need to put APIs on them. So the question becomes that, what is the problem that we are trying to solve? Is it that machines are operating and connecting with some data, or are we actually thinking about who is dealing with the spare parts or authorizing service or collaborating with AI agents? Or, what is the warranty for these machines? What is that the actual people and organizations are needing to happen? When is the data meaningful? What functionality is meaningful for the IoT devices? So that becomes the question for the connected ecosystem. And that is where we should go with our questions when we start thinking about the API strategy. So we often hear, as API consultants, for example, we often hear these questions that we need an API, what should we do? Or we need to use our data, is actually even more common. Or we need a digital twin. This was a very popular question a few years back. Especially everybody was kind of wanting a digital twin, but not quite sure what to do with that digital twin while it exists. Every organization needs better integrations. The question is just, what does that better integration kind of give us as business benefit? And my favorite is the fragmented systems. So we need less fragmented systems. I wouldn't say it's a super common thing, but it is a thing that some companies are kind of feeling a need for. But actually, it's not necessarily the fragmented systems. It might be that the end result feels fragmented because those systems are not connected properly. The API strategy, the integration strategy, the user experience or customer experience isn't designed to support that. So fragmented systems in itself is not necessarily a problem, but it is a question of what is the business hurt, or what is the problem that is coming out of those fragmented systems. And then, of course, in industry, in machinery especially, we need predictive maintenance. And then the question is, okay, your elevators, your cranes, your forestry machines, your locks and keys are saying to you, hey, I need a maintenance. I have something wrong with me. What is then the process that should result out of that, and how that process can be API enabled? So that leads us to the API trap. So often when we are looking at things as API or integration professionals, we are looking at, endpoints or gateways. What gateway is the best gateway? The question should be, for what? What is the business outcome that you are striving at? Is it really good uptime? Is it speed or less latency? Is it like enabling dealers or like partner ecosystem or customers? Is it like getting revenue more? For example, selling your data or selling, for example, spare parts via an API, or like what are we striving at? So the necessary things and the technical focus that should be improved or built or bought is dependent or should be dependent on the business outcomes that we are striving at. And often we are concentrating more on the technical answers and technical problems as kind of isolated technical problems before the organization is actually ready to discuss what journeys, what business requirements are we wanting to support. And that is actually a problem, because then we start solving an abstract, complex problem. For example, if you are opening up a whole database and thinking that, okay, we'll provide APIs to access our whole database, you will actually open up a Pandora's box of a big compliance and security issue. You have to kind of cover up the whole database and everything in it with APIs that are very reliable, very, very secure, and you have a very complicated authorization and authentication situation to handle, because you have to be ready for every situation. While when you really start thinking from the customer journeys and the partner journeys and the kind of business benefits point of view, then you start actually thinking of what are the stakeholders needing? Who are the stakeholders? What is their point of view to this? What is it that we actually need to cater for their needs? So as counterintuitive as this may seem for many kind of platform engineers or architects who are kind of very much removed from the end customers, often, this is very important, because this is where we also connect the business interest to this, the funding to this API strategy, and also we actually are simplifying the architecture and concentrating only on the things that we actually need. So this gives us even more focus on the actual API products and really the core needs for our API strategy, and connecting our API strategy to our business strategy. And remembering this, like that the data is only valuable when you are kind of looking at it from whose point of view is it valuable. So that is really the question here. And that then leads us from the thinking of, okay, who needs this? What is the value that they drive from those APIs, those data, that functionality? Then you actually are able to think, okay, who else might need this? So then you start having this kind of productization of data, of APIs, of integrations. Okay, what is it that really should be reusable? And then you can start really doing your architecture into a more reusable way. You can start really talking about API products, and the conversation becomes sensible, understandable for the business people and the technical people, and you're really talking about enabling the business with business capabilities with technical capabilities. And this is also where we go with API of cycles, and especially the new version of it, if you're familiar with it before. So API of cycles is actually an open method that is the first and so far the only one that I know of that is about supporting or bringing that kind of design thinking and experience thinking to APIs and integrations, and also thinking about business capabilities, and then from that technical capabilities that really kind of connect APIs, API products into your business strategy, into your customer and partner journeys. So in API cycles method, there's this metro map, and the metro map offers these stations, and each station has a set of instructions, canvases, other tooling that you can use to really design your API products, your API strategy, and then go from that towards the technical requirements, and then from that to the technical design and publishing and implementation. Here's an example of the new API cycles methodology site and canvases. Now, that's just the one way of getting into this. Of course, you can get to the question of capabilities or integrations or even API products in many different ways. But if you really kind of want to look at things from an enterprise architecture viewpoint, from a business capability viewpoint, this is kind of closing into TOGAF, for example, as a framework, or strategy thinking and research from business management point of view. So then you start looking at, okay, what is it that we actually need to connect? Maybe in an industrial setup, we want to connect the engineering and maintenance or warranty and service. Like, okay, warranty and service is pretty clear. If you have a certain kind of warranty, then you need certain kind of, or you need to provide certain kind of service. And of course, the service can be provided by some other entities than necessarily the product itself. So the manufacturer might be concerning and providing the warranty, while the service providers are actually needing the information of the warranty to know what kind of service to provide. So this leads us to inter-organization and external integration needs, and also the discussion of what is the ecosystem journey. If I buy or rent, for example, a manufactured product like a crane or a tractor or something, then I, as a customer or customer representative of the customer organization, I'm not so interested in like who was actually manufacturing or who was selling it to me, who was manufacturing it, who is providing service. I may or may not want them to be the same entity, or I don't mind as long as everything works. But I do want the data to flow. I want things to work, that if I have a problem with my product, then I can get the service while I have the warranty. So basically, if my device or if my product is kind of complaining to me that, hey, my predictive maintenance algorithm is saying that, hey, I might have an issue coming up, make sure that you have spare parts and service available. It might be good that it can also connect to the warranty service and say that, hey, the warranty is still on, so go ahead and here are your closest service providers that have the spare parts you need. So all of that is kind of due to the planning and designing of the ecosystem journey enabled by the API strategy. And this needs, of course, a lot of different people and organizations, business units to be connected to the whole design and planning of the API strategy, designing the customer experience, partner experience, the ecosystem based on the business goals, for example. So then you have the compliance guys, the security guys, the partner support, partner integration people. You have, of course, the people who are actually delivering and designing the APIs and operating them. So all of those people need to connect to the design and delivery at some points. And so the metro map in the API cycles is one way to kind of understand who needs to be connected and when to the processes and to the thinking and designing, and what is their role while they are while you need them. So the new version of the apicycles.com method is actually providing you a better view on that, and also more cycles, not just the API productization cycle, but more kind of consumer-centric, so integration productization cycle, automation cycle, and capability productization cycle for more like business capability to technical capability kind of journey from a higher level. And that's kind of what I wanted to tell you, but please join the APIs community. We will be in APIs Paris this year as a conference and doing a lot of other things in other API Days conferences too, and also organizing APIs meetups and webinars along the way. So thank you, and hope your API strategy is ready to go in a few moments after you familiarize yourself with the API cycles method.